I have so many ridiculous posts like these. I should make a video just of Gypsy's ridiculous posts and stories. So let's start here. In case you don't know, Gypsy Manson always keeps two Spacebook accounts, one for personal, one for business. This was posted on an account that no longer exists. Not only is it really, really long and giving ChatGPT with a Gypsy twist, this was posted in August of 2025, right around the time frame that this happened.
Her name is Tiffany, and I had went to her studio back whenever, I want to say it was like September of last year.
This was all the same time frame that we noticed the hair issues with Gypsy. Everybody was pointing it out. Everybody noticed it. The freak out video happened then too. I took this screenshot of Gypsy Manson in the wild 2 days before the big long post. And then on Monday, October 20th, she adds this to her story. Today I stand in my truth and won't let anyone invalidate me. And now we're here. My response to those who invalidate my abuse as a trauma survivor. I want to take a moment to acknowledge I am a controversial topic, and why some on social media invalidate my trauma. My mother had never been formally diagnosed with MBP. However, experts strongly believe that with all the warning signs, she had undiagnosed MBP, Munchausen by proxy, or another term, fictitious disorder and malingering. She often lied about my health and manipulated everyone around her, including doctors and family. The truth is, most of the surgeries and medications I went through were unnecessary. Okay, Gypsy, now it's most. I'm sorry, y'all. I cannot stand this girl and how much her story changes. I've been wanting to look deeper into the correlation between Gypsy's psychopathy and the hair stuff. So let's go ahead and just touch on that for just a second. The relationship between psychopathy and cutting hair generally falls into two distinct categories: impulsive emotional regulation in individuals and the specific symbolic or ritualistic behavior sometimes associated with psychopathic individuals. Hey, Gypsy, I'm all for coping skills that doesn't involve scissors. Emotional regulation and control. For the general population, impulsively cutting one's own hair is often a trauma or stress response. When individuals, including those who may exhibit psychopathic or antisocial traits, feel a loss of power, cutting their hair provides a quick, tangible way to regain autonomy. It offers an immediate sense of control over their own bodies when life feels chaotic. That makes a lot of sense, right? I promise you guys I'm going to research into this further, but I just wanted to show some quick points that the hair thing really matters more than people think. Over the past decade, my story has been told across countless media outlets and in my memoir. Yes, there are small inconsistencies and many interviews and documentaries and a scripted drama series that altogether had many over-dramatized and inaccurate details. That is what happens when information from others, family, friends, co-authors, get mixed in with my own memories. I tell you what, Gypsy, if you were even half as confident as you pretend to be, you would not be explaining yourself all the time. This oversight will be corrected in my memoir, My Time to Stand. Never happened. When I said on Dr. Phil that I could lie without a conscience, I meant that my mother taught me to lie, to pretend everything was fine at home. Everything was great at home, girl. You had like one of the best childhoods I've ever even seen. To cover up what was really happening. That's what abusers do. They train their victims to survive through silence and performance. Never once did I think when expressing that people would ever invalidate my trauma and further claim that I was a willing participant in her con. Are you guys hearing this? Okay, this is the best part. Even if someone doubts the medical abuse, please understand there were many other forms of abuse. It's not normal for a mother to bind her 14-year-old daughter's chest, never happened, keep her from attending a formal education, and cease all homeschooling after the second grade, debatable, impersonate her child or daughter on Facebook to manipulate her daughter's father, never happened. In fact, we suspect that Gypsy was actually the one pretending to be Dee Dee on the Facebook stuff. threatened that the boogeyman CPS would take her away for misbehaving, placing fear into her child from a young age. This was a very common tactic in the 90s. Used manipulation tactics such as triangulation, stonewalling, and verbal abuse, leaving long lasting trust issues. Please, in the comment section, explain to me where there was ever any triangulation with Dee Dee Blanchard. Forge medical and government documents to alter personal information, including last name and even year of birth, all to create an eternal child for her own financial gain and emotional control. These things happen and they are not normal. Neither is beheading your mother, Gypsy. I also want to clarify something that is often misunderstood. I do have a chromosomal condition called a microdeletion on 1q21.1. I have been open about this and included it in my memoir. The genetic variation was even considered during my court proceedings. Some people online assume that because I have this microdeletion, all of the surgeries and medications I received must have been medically necessary, but that's not true. Okay, Gypsy, please go on to explain which ones were not medically necessary today. I want to hear what you say today because it changes every time. While 1q21.1 microdeletion can be associated with certain traits such as smaller head size, mild developmental delays, strabismus, or distinct facial features, I have been evaluated by a genetic specialist who explained that I exhibit very few of the possible medical issues linked to this condition. Did they talk about your high palate at all and that tongue thing? Just wondering. Despite that, my mother repeatedly told doctors that I had severe illnesses, muscular dystrophy, epilepsy, hearing loss, asthma, leukemia, even cancer and paralysis. The diagnoses change from hospital to hospital depending on what she told them. Unfortunately, many doctors took her word at face value and recorded these claims in my medical chart, creating a false and misleading medical history that does not reflect my true health today. I apologize if my story hasn't always sounded 100% consistent. I've been piecing my life together, learning what was real and what was a lie told by my mother. That's part of healing from trauma. Memory changes over time, especially when therapy helps turn painful memories into distant ones. It hurts when people call me a liar or say my entire story is false. I'm still uncovering truths about my past even now. My inconsistencies are not deceit. They're the byproduct of surviving and then untangling years of manipulation. You can't expect someone who lived through psychological and medical abuse to recall every event perfectly, especially after 10 years of processing it publicly. The truth is, I'm still healing at my own pace. I can't live by what others demand of me. Some want me to be an advocate, others only want to judge me. I can only live my life, continue to heal, and tell my truth as I remember and learn it. How about you do that offline? Oh, yeah. And if you made it this far, thank you so much because we are still not done. Final page. All I ask is for people to show understanding and compassion. Abuse changes your perception of right and wrong, it shapes how you see the world and yourself. My story is one of survival, not perfection. If you are reading this and you are one of those individuals who invalidate me, to you I ask, would you still feel the same way if I had died and my mother had lived? This is insane, you guys. I forgot how crazy this post was, and it really shows her state of mind here. I would love to know when Gypsy was ever at risk of dying by the hand of her mother, Dee Dee Blanchard. Over the last decade, my story has been told in many ways. Have you ever heard of the telephone game? It's when one person tells another person something, who then tells someone else, who tells someone else, who tells someone else, and by the time you get to the last person, the story has changed entirely. Leave it to Gypsy to put in a stupid analogy. That is what happened on social media to my life story and my entire existence in my daily life. Throughout the last decade, many content creators have made video after video, rumor after rumor, until I have become someone else entirely in the minds of some. And to others, I have grown far beyond their expectations and continue to overcome trauma as a survivor. Look at her putting that chat GPT into overdrive, putting in every buzzword she can think of. Let my story be a cautionary tale of what happens when a perfect storm beats a dormant volcano waiting to erupt. Let my story be a lesson to every victim of MBP and that this is their time to stand. Advocate. Who are you telling to advocate? You go advocate, Gypsy. Advocate for more education and hospitals and affordable or free therapy to survivors and harsher penalties for abusers. Advocacy starts with a voice. Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Girl, you are the abuser in every single scenario, and you definitely should have got a harsher penalty. I did not know this video was going to take this long, you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and comment your thoughts below. And I know this was a lot, but it just goes to show like what her state of mind was around the freak out video, what kind of things she was posting. And there's a lot more where that comes from.